Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and you couldn't spank me if your hands were glued to my ass. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, friend.
Hello, friend. I can't top that line. You really got me there.
Such a weird line.
It's such a weird space in the movie which gets slightly homophobic. Not even slightly. Yeah, but anyway.
So weird. We are dorking out about 2005's Roll Bounce. This is one of Margo's favorite summer movies, and she introduced it to me last summer, and it's been on our list since. It's directed by Malcolm D. Lee. He is Spike Lee's cousin, if you're all wondering. And he also directed The Best Man. I think there's one called The Best Man's Holiday or something. Undercover Brother, and he also did Girls Trip, which I thought
I love Girls Trip.
I thought Girls Trip was really funny. And it stars Little Bow Wow. I'm sorry, just Bow Wow. My bad. It's just Bow Wow. Chi McBride, Mike Epps, Charlie Murphy is in there. Wesley Jonathan as Sweetness. Kellita Smith as Vivian. She's the woman who lives across the street. She was from the Bernie Mac show. She's so hot. She was on the Bernie Mac show. She was funny as shit on that show. Meagan Good, Nick Cannon, Jurnee Smollett as Tori. There's so many people. Smollett. Thank you. See, I'm so shitty. I'm the worst. There's a lot of people. I can't name them all. And Wayne Brady shows up. How about that? There. I'll end it there. And Wayne Brady.
It's an amazing cast. There's a lot of comedians here.
Yes.
And there's some very funny stuff here. Meagan Good is so gorgeous and such a cutie pie.
Oh my God. Her and Naomi? Yeah, her and Tori. They are adorable. Everybody drink. And we're drinking today. This is like we're doing a dorking out happy hour. So Margo's drinking a sparkling rosé and I'm drinking a hazy IPA. So cheers to that.
And I have some allergy medicine in me, so this could get really good.
Oh, sweet. The show's going to be epic. So how did you find Roll Bounce? Like, did you see it in the theater?
No, I didn't see it in the theater, and I'm not sure why I didn't. It would be something I'd be attracted to. I think it was one of those movies on VH1, when VH1 has like I think VH1 showed it over and over again. Mm-hmm. And I used to watch a lot of VH1. Yeah. So I started watching it, and I just find this movie and the story so sweet. And I mean, it's about a bunch of kids, 1978 Chicago. There's all this disco and soul music, and they're roller skating all the time. I'm like, I'm in. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, you picked this movie as one of your movies that feel like summer, and you described it, and I was like, how have I not seen Roll Bounce? I felt like they made a movie just for me, and I didn't see it. Like, I love all the things about this movie. The soundtrack is practically my playlist, and I love roller skating. I should have put my roller skates on for recording this, so I feel bad about that. But it's so good. It's so sweet. It's exactly what you said. It's even like the quote unquote bad guys in the movie. They're not even really bad guys. They're kind of pompous dicks, really.
Yeah, but they're funny though. They're not. I don't know. Like everybody there's a nice funny edge to everything, but it's about this kid and the mother died, right? Okay, so it's and I'm always a sucker for like the widow.
Yeah.
The widower, excuse me, and missing his wife and having kids, and he has a teenage son and a younger daughter who's such a little cutie pie.
She's so cute.
She's adorable. I'm gonna put her in my pocket. But the son Xavier, everybody calls him X. He's friends with a bunch of dudes, and their roller rink in the south side of Chicago closed down. This is 1978, and so they have to go. Is it the north side? I'm sorry, I don't know Chicago very well. But they have to go to the other rink, and I guess the other rink is like their rink was the black kids rink, and now this is more of a mixed race kind of thing. But it's not about race. It's just about these kids and their coming of age. What's great is like it is mostly just a black cast, and there is race is mentioned, and definitely in the case of the father, which kills me.
Yes,
where he's an educated man and he's trying to get a job and he can barely get a job as a janitor.
It's bullshit. It's frustrating.
It's such bullshit. And it's so hard to watch. and his son is X is a good kid, but he gets a little mouthy sometimes, but he's going through puberty and all this other stuff. And I don't even know. It's like Naomi is a girl that's a friend of his, and they're just sort of discovering that the other one's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
And they meet they skate together, and then there's this guy named Sweetness, and he is the skate boy of the rink.
Yes.
And he has like the open shirt. He's really slim. He's got a big afro.
Oh my
and he has these white girls who follow these girls, like pretty girls that follow him around everywhere he goes. And a lot of cases women are accessories in this movies, but in also a lot of cases the women are very strong.
Yes.
So but it makes, because you do see that at the roller or at any club, there's some women that just follow guys around. That's all they do.
When Sweetness is first introduced, he comes out and he's wearing like kind of like a gold outfit, and he's wearing like a cape, and he's like walking in, and they're playing a disco song, and every woman in the roller rink is freaking out, right? They're all just like, ah! And like even like Tori, who's like hanging around with these she just yells like, "Sweetness, you're so fun!" And then like one of the boys is all, "He is!" It's just the reaction to Sweetness every time he shows up made me laugh. I just thought it was like the fact he was like the Beatles, or so, like the Beatles walked in and like every woman is like losing her shit, and like even X's little sister.
Yeah, like she's like, she faints.
Yeah, she like he like blows her a kiss or something, and she faints. It's just so ridiculous, but it's amazing.
But the kids are in little groups, and they're competing to be they're just skating and getting to know each other. And X is going through a thing where first he likes a girl, but he's dealing with the loss of his mother. He realizes that his father his dad, yeah, that's so sad. The dad gets dressed every day to look for work. He lost his job, and then he has to sell the car because he can't afford it. I know, it's so
There's
sad.
a very sad B story going on.
Yeah,
in this movie.
I forget about that. And it's not bad because it's kind of, he's such a good dad. He's so good to them. He's really trying to do everying he could. Because my dad was a hothead. He would never have patience in that situation.
Same.
God bless him, but no. But this man is really patient, and he's dealing with a kid who's just, figuring his way around the world. And there's a girl, Tori, that her mom. She lives across the street, right? And her mom is also single and hot. Mm-hmm. And you get the feeling that, and it's so great because X has a little sister, and the dad doesn't know how to do braids. He doesn't know how to do black hair.
Yeah.
And so this new girlfriend potential, she's braiding her hair. And you're like, oh, that's so cute. Like they're so like this. All this is happening. Then Tori's the one, she has big braces on her face.
Yes.
And one kid like constantly makes fun of her because her braces, forgetting the fact that she's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous, but because she has braces, he calls her like metal mouth, and I see the metal detectors aren't on at the roller rink, and they're all teasing her like she's ugly or something.
Like she's a monster, and she's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. Yes.
And then magically when her braces come off, all of a sudden they're making out. But it's cute. I forgive it. I'm like, whatever.
All the relationships are really sweet. Like everything's pretty chaste. And but it's sweet. And even the stuff with the parents, like maybe they're going to start getting together. It doesn't seem forced. And we don't see them like kissing or anything. It seems like they're building like a friendship. Like she comes over and yells at him about something, and then he's sasses her back, and they don't get along. And then later she realizes his wife died and he's all alone, and he's trying to raise these kids, and she feels bad about what happened. And so she comes over with like a peace offering, like an ice cream sandwich. And
remember those? They had strawberry shortcake, and
shit's delicious.
That was my favorite thing as a kid. Is like ice cream man was that kind of ice cream you could buy. Oh
yeah. And then that's when they're like sitting on the porch, and like she's combing the little girl's hair, and I don't know, it's just like a little sweet thing. Like they're forming a friendship that
people get to know each other.
Yeah, and it's clearly going to turn romantic, which is why when Tori is introduced, there's never a like, oh, X and Tori are gonna hook up. It seems very sibling like from
or cousins.
From the second they meet. Like he's never like trying to like get in her pants or treat her differently than anybody else. He's like, she's just my friend now too. And it's cool. It's cool. I think
yeah.
It would change if they were like 1 year older.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like right at that age where it's like maybe the last year that you could like make a female friend before it turns into something else.
For a while, and then you can make friends again. But
Yes.
It's like everything's all weird for a while. Let's just say that. But they're all really good at roller skating.
Yes.
And so there's this big competition, and Wayne Brady is the DJ,
Mm-hmm.
and he's very funny. And there's this really gorgeous woman that's in the DJ. They're always doing the bump,
Yes.
in the DJ booth, which I just love. And then Nick Cannon is the roller rink guy who gives them the skates, but he gives them the like skates way too big for him. And
He's like giving him
like these poor kids, like what?
Yeah, he's like, I need a size 9, and he's like giving him a 15, and then it's revealed that he's like, the girls here look at the skate size. They like a big skate. So then, then the boy's like, oh, I need a 17. It's just like, just turns into a whole thing. It's the Nick Cannon stuff is like so like over the top, but it's still funny. Like, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of emotional beats, but like for the most part, it's funny and it's very warm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, you told me there's a dance contest, and especially if it's on roller skates, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally in. And then that's where you get all these really great songs, just one after the other. And at the very end, I like Hollywood Swingin', and
I love that song so much.
Oh my God. And Burn Rubber, what's there's so many really good songs. Sorry, Get Off by Foxy.
Yeah. I wrote down a whole bunch. There's like,
oh yeah,
of course there's like Bounce, Rock, Skate, Roll, like that's on there obviously. And then we get like Hollywood Swingin', Let's Stay Together, Lovely Day, Get Off by Foxy, La Freak, Flashlight. We get Emotion by the Bee Gees, which the boys don't know who that is. Like, and they're like, the Bee who? What do you say? He's my cousin got BG from his girlfriend. I heard it makes your dick fall off or something. Just like all of it. Barracuda by Heart.
That's a great section, a great use of that song too, because those are like, it's a group of men that are skaters, and they're total dicks, but they're hilarious. They're really funny. They're very flamboyant in their gestures and everything. And yeah, when he does a Get Off, and that's when Sweetness does his little like solo dance. They're all competing, and then it's a tie, and so then two of them decide to like they were gonna fight for it. Mm-hmm. It's X and Sweetness, and Sweetness goes first, and then X, and then spoiler, X falls and hits his head or something, but it just falls. And the next thing you see is that litany of scenes, like people walking by. He has like the one friend that always cries easily, and he's upset.
It actually doesn't go where you think it's gonna go. Like you think you think he's gonna win. Obviously, you think he's gonna win, and when he doesn't win, you're like, oh, this is the kind of movie it is. It's telling that kind of message, and there's still like the respect at the end, like, hey, you are like really awesome at skating. You just, you didn't win or whatever. And that I actually wrote in my notes, I'm like, the Sweetwater Rollers, they are actually better. Yes. They're the bad guys. And by the way, they're practically grown-ass men. So like the idea that they're like taking on these like 12-year-old boys, it's like the Lance Armstrong beating a kid in a race that we like to talk about on What a Creep. Like, it's kind of a dick move that they're like so protective of their title when it comes to roller skating against 12-year-old boys. But it's fine. You gotta let it go. It's fine. But they are really good.
They're excellent. They are really, really good. And so it ends the way it's supposed to end. And you get the idea that they're going to grow and I don't know how to tell you. It's just one of those stories. It's just very, very sweet. And it just really always makes me feel good. And I like it's just set in the 70s and it's got a nice pace to it. And there are some sad parts.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part where X gets really mad and just freaks out. And, people, I could relate to this because people are saying to him, you got to forget about your mom. You got to move on. You got to let her go. And he's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, dude, I'm with you. It's
Yeah.
like, people give that kind of advice, but that's not helpful.
No, and
And
I think there's also just a lot about good parenting in this movie
hmm
that's not, I don't know, it's not like hitting you over the head about it really, but parenting is really hard, and trying to parent when you're going through shit
right.
is really really hard. And seeing, and it's also about this, there's a scene in the movie where the dad is listening to a record that clearly speaks to him and his wife, like maybe it was their song or whatever, and he's just, looking at pictures and listening to the album, and he's got like the tears, and the little girl's sleeping next to him, and X sees his dad, and it's like this moment where you realize that your parents aren't just your parents, they're humans, they're
Right.
people with their own problems and things like that. Like, it's not just X misses his mom, but his dad lost his wife,
Right.
and we all go through that moment where you realize your parents aren't these like miracle workers that just sprang out of the ground when you were born. Like, they had
Right.
lives and things like that. And I think it's a really sweet scene that isn't like super heavy handed.
Right.
And as someone who's, now has kids, like, I appreciate how they handle it, because it's tough. But then you also have to be like the bigger person and
Right.
put your feelings aside and help your children navigate theirs. And I think it does that really well.
Yeah. It does. And then there's a lot of, like we said, comedy in between. So it's Charlie Murphy and who is the other guy?
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps. They're garage men. I would say garbage men. And they come by and they just give X a hard time. They like to give him a hard time, but
Mhm.
they're always up to some kind of silliness, and they're really funny. And I don't know who plays the car salesman. I was like,
Oh, I've seen him in so many things.
yeah. I was just like, oh, I haven't seen that person in a while.
Yeah, it's just such a good movie. Like, so pleasant and nice. It's so funny. It reminds me of, this is going to sound weird, but it does remind me of the movie Friday. Which,
Yeah,
have you ever seen Friday?
of course.
I
Bye,
think
Felicia.
I think Friday is really 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 funny. And but it's got a serious message in it too, about like, don't be afraid to take an ass whooping, like, instead of just reaching for guns and things like that.
Hmm.
It's really well done, but it does remind me a little bit in that, I don't know, it's like a whole cast of characters and how in a community and how they interact with each other. It I just really love this movie. I was so happy that you recommended it and that I found it, and I had rented it, and then I was like, I should have bought it. What's wrong with me? Why didn't I buy it? So I bought it. So now I own it. So I got to rewatch it, and it made me so happy.
It's just a feel-good story, and it's like they don't make movies like this anymore. I mean, I can't remember.
Yes.
I mean, not on a big scale.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I wanted to mention. I've been watching on Netflix this it's like a 3-part uh I guess documentary series. I guess you would say it's a documentary. Called They Gotta Have Us, and it's all about black film and black filmmakers, and they talk a lot about movies, the idea of the black genre, quote unquote, and how black films aren't a genre
Hmm.
because these are just stories about people, and the idea that like a movie like Roll Bounce can't come out the same year as Boys in the Hood or something because those are black movies. It's like these are just different stories. It has nothing to do with race, really. I mean,
Hmm.
Boys in the Hood does, but there was this idea that you can't make. Hollywood was very obsessed with like gang movies
Oh my
for a
God,
while,
yes.
especially in the
Yeah.
80s and 90s. Like, uh, every
Colors.
movie, Yeah, colors. I'm a nightmare walking, psychopath talking. You know, it's there's like a certain, you couldn't have a movie like Roll Bounce in the early 90s because all the movies were like New Jack City.
Mhm.
And you had to wait till like 2005 to get stories like this, to get like The Best Man, to get The Best Man Holiday, to get something even like Barbershop or Girls Trip, or
Mhm.
there's more to black cinema than just those, quote unquote gang movie, drug movies, police movies. Like,
Right,
there's
right.
other stories to be told, and we need more of these. There's a ton of white versions of this movie. Even
Yes.
like a Goonies would fall into like, the like coming of age adventure movie. Yeah. We need more of these, is what I'm saying. I love this movie so much.
It's very comforting, and it has great music, and it's got some sad parts, but you get through it, and the dancing is incredible. I love it.
Yeah, and
I don't know what else to say.
yeah, and everybody else who is skating. I love that everyone who's skating is really good in the competition. I like that we
Mhm.
get to see like lots of cool skating, which is
Mhm.
rad. I love that the Sweetwater rollers are actually really, really good. They're not just
Mm.
they are huge assholes, like we said, but like they are really, really good. And the Garden Boys are good too, but it's like a different kind of good.
And they're
They
younger, and they don't have as many moves.
yeah.
They're smaller.
Yeah, and they look like they're having more fun.
Oh
That's for
yeah.
sure. Like they're out there with their Hollywood swinging and they're dancing and having a good time. And I'm like, I would much rather skate with them than Sweetness. Although Sweetness is he's so fine. Like
He's a good skater, man. And I love how they ended, which is they play Boogie Oogie Oogie,
yeah,
but they have the whole cast doing it.
and
It's so
they're
good.
all skating, and like Sweetness is out there skating with the little sister. It's so cute. It's
It's
just
charming.
it is. And I do love when the dad says like, so that's Sweetness, and then the little girl's all, Daddy, I love him. She's so cute.
He's like, oh, great.
It's just so funny to me. And I watched, because I bought it on DVD, I watched a little bit of the behind the scenes, and how a lot of these kids, they didn't know how to skate. Roller skating wasn't a thing. It's not a thing anymore.
Right.
So they had to teach them how to skate. So not only did they have to learn choreography and learn to dance, which is fucking hard, like
Hmm.
they had to do it on skates. I'm like, huge tip of the hat to these kids. That's insane.
And act and be funny.
Yeah, and they're really good at it.
They are.
It
They're
really
very
makes
believable as friends.
They are, absolutely. They really seem like they are. I don't want to hear anything different. I want to believe that they're all still friends. If they aren't, don't ruin this for me. Let me have this. What else can we say about Roll Bounce?
I like the costumes.
Yes.
I like the little boys. Also, they have a whole thing of these little boys chasing kids with water balloons. And
I forgot about that.
yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, X works as the world's worst paperboy.
That's a job that doesn't exist anymore either.
Yeah. He's wearing his huge headset that makes him look like an alien with like the antennas sticking out. And he's just throwing newspapers and he's just like hitting people.
He's like Mark Herman in the last movie we saw. Shoop.
He's just like Shoop in summer school. He's just skating around with his huge
Yeah.
headset. Oh my gosh. But Shoop didn't work as a paperboy. He might have.
I bet he did at some point.
Teachers don't make money, so he might have needed a little extra dough. But yeah, he's the world's worst paperboy, and there's these kids that keep ambushing him with water balloons, and there's a scene where like they go after Tori too. That's really funny. She's really great.
Oh, she's wonderful.
She is so funny, and the scene where she gets her braces off and and of course now she's super beautiful. Like they put her in like a jumpsuit, and it's like the equivalent of she took her glasses off and now she's prom queen or whatever. But it's very well done. It's very funny.
Yeah,
So this
I
was
agree.
a really, really good pick, Margo.
I think it's something we need right now. It's just, it makes you feel good.
Yes. There it is. Is it streaming anywhere? Because like I said, I have it, so that's how I
Yeah,
watched it.
I got it on Amazon. It's streaming.
Oh.
I don't know if it's for free, but you can rent it anywhere.
So if you haven't seen it, you should see it. You would love it. Everybody. Do you want to hear about the top movies of 2005?
I sure would.
We have never done a 2005 movie before, so
I know.
I got to actually do our top 10 movies. It's pretty exciting. So number 10 is Hitch with
I've never
Will
seen
Smith.
it.
That's the one where he plays the matchmaker, right?
I haven't seen it.
Okay. I think it is. And like Kevin James, and some people super love it. Number 9 was Batman Begins.
Is that the one with Val Kilmer?
No, that's Christian Bale.
Oh, Christian Bale. The first Christian Bale.
Yeah. It's fine.
Okay. It's fine.
It's fine. Number 8 is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That stinks.
I didn't see it.
It's not good.
I can't do the like weird Johnny Depp, Tim
Trying
Burton
too hard.
movies. They're like Alice in Wonderland. I hated it. I watched it and I was like, I physically am repulsed by it. Like I can't.
If you don't like Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, you're not going to like his Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, I will not do
You
this.
will not
then.
like it.
All
yeah.
right. Number 7 is Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I finally saw that for the first time.
Yeah. And did you like it?
I'm not sure. It's very watchable though.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining, but I'm not sure if it's good. If that makes sense?
Yes. It makes
They look
perfect
great.
sense. They look amazing. They have really great chemistry.
They do.
There's a reason. Like they hooked up, Anyway, number 6 was Madagascar.
Never seen it.
I've seen it a few times because I have a kid and it's the law. Number 5 is King Kong.
With Naomi Watts?
Yeah.
I think I've seen it.
I've seen that one. I like parts of it. I thought it was a little too long though. But
it's like 3 hours long or
It's
something,
so
right?
long.
It's something ridiculous. Yeah.
I thought it was fine. Number 4 was War of the Worlds.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was something to
Okay.
watch.
That's a thing to watch.
Number 3 is The Chronicles of Narnia.
Yes, I like that one.
I have never seen it.
It's good. It's really, really good. We just did that for Book versus Movie. And I think it's on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it PG or is it PG?
PG. It's a little scary, but
Okay, too scary for Calvin then maybe.
it might be. Yeah.
All right. That's a watch without him then. And number 2, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
No.
No.
Sorry.
Not good.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a discussion about the prequels here. I know that people love them. I didn't really like that one. And number 1 was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
I like the Harry Potters, even though
She's on everyone's shit list right now because she's being very
big
ignorant.
turf.
Yeah, she's being very
Yeah.
ignorant and unprivileged and
stubborn about it.
very frustrating. But to be fair, I did really like that movie and I really like that book.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to process my feelings about that, but I'm not going to do it right now.
Do you want to hear about the top songs?
Yes, I do.
So these were my favorites. Gorillaz, Feel Good.
The song is awesome.
Awesome song. Weezer, Beverly Hills. I really like that song. It's dumb, but I like it. Beverly Hills. Yes.
It's a great song.
The Black Eyed Peas by Humps. I love that shit. Gwen Stefani, Holla Back.
That's a really good song. It's
a good
catchy.
song.
It's catchy as
Catchy
fuck.
as fuck. Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone.
I love that
Great
song.
song. It's one of my favorite songs. Kanye West,
Oh, go
Gold
ahead.
Digger.
That's a good song too.
Good song. And finally, my favorite, Missy Elliott, Lose Control. Yeah.
That song is rad too. I love Missy Elliott.
She's rad.
I have to say, I used to be a really big American Idol watcher.
You've told me.
Yeah, like the first couple of seasons. A lot of people don't know this about me, but if you go back on my blog, you can see me like I blogged about American Idol every week. I watched it and I wrote about my feelings about what I just watched, and I voted. And then people were like, I can't believe you vote. And I was like, why would I watch and I don't vote? What's the fucking point? Of course you have to vote. Like, then I'm just watching people and I don't want to voice my opinion. Of course I do. I was super into American Idol back in the day. And I love Kelly. She was rad.
She's so talented.
She's still rad. Like she's super talented. She has an amazing voice. And I love Since You've Been Gone. That song is the catchiest. It's so catchy.
It gets in your brain for days. Like when you hear it, like you'll be thinking about it all of a sudden. You're like, yeah.
I love it. Now I'm going to listen to it after this.
Yeah.
What else are you dorking out about?
So Dave Chappelle put out a comedy special on YouTube. I think it's called 846.
Yep.
And it's about just everything that's going on in the world right now, and Black Lives Matter. And I thought it's hit or miss with him lately.
Yeah, me too.
His transphobia, like another person who's transphobic and kind of stubborn about it, and his stubborn defense of Louis C.K. I got my issues with him, but this is one of those specials. Like, it was funny in parts, but mainly it was just coming from the heart and how he feels. And I really appreciated it. And he called a couple of women the C word, and I didn't have a problem with it at all because they are C words as far as I'm concerned. So
I second that emotion. I also think that, fuck those women. They're assholes. Yeah. They're assholes. They're get assholes. It. And I watched it too because I knew you were going to talk about it. So I also watched it. And same as you, like back in the day, I was a big fan of Dave Chappelle, and I loved his show and I loved his stand up. And then his most recent ones, I was like, dude's punching down and I'm not cool with it. But this was less stand up and more one man show esque, I guess. You know, it's kind of the same thing people are saying about Hannah Gadsby, where it's like sometimes the comedy shows you watch on Netflix aren't like joke. It's more of a story, or it's more, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but more thoughtful than that, deeper than that. And I think that that's what this is too, obviously. And there's a lot of anger there, and rightful anger. And I like how he voiced it, how he explained it, how he's tired of explaining it. And if it connects with people and helps some people understand that aren't understanding, I think that would be amazing. Like, because there are like people, especially like, I don't want to stereotype people, but there was like a really large fan base for Chappelle's show that were like these kind of like fratty white guys that didn't seem to get the joke part of it. They just were like, I'm Rick James, bitch, like that sort of thing. And they didn't get like the underlying things that were going on in the show. And I know that frustrated him. And that's why he took a step back from the show. And I don't think that audience can do that with this set. Like they can't miss it. Like it's there. Right. It's in the open. It's really it's weird too, because it's out in Ohio, right? He's filming it in Ohio. There's like social distancing in place. So like all the tables are far apart. It's outside. And I'm like, well, maybe this is going to be the new normal. Maybe this is the kind of stuff, this is how it's going to be for a little while.
He's smoking a cigarette too the whole time. When was the last time you saw somebody do that? I'm like, they kept looking at, like, he kept lighting it. I'm like, do you not know how to smoke, sir? But if you do, like, why now? Can't you just you only up there for 30 minutes? Like, can't you just, it's a prop, I guess, or whatever. But I thought the same way. And I thought there's somebody like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Adam Carolla, he's touring right now because he has a book out, because God forbid. Yeah. And he's not doing any social distancing. He's doing all these book signings and stuff like that. And and I was just like, good for you, Chappelle. Like, this is how you make it done. And people seem okay with it. No one freaked out. Yeah. And it's not a big deal to wear a mask. It really isn't a big deal to wear a mask, you guys.
Yeah, this is, before we started recording, we were talking about this. I'm like, just wear a mask. Yeah. Just wear it. It's not a big deal. It's not, you're not making some big statement. You're not like, I'm being such a pussy because I'm, if I wear a mask, just wear a mask. Yeah. It's, oh my God, it's like so not a big deal. Anyway, people are assholes. But that's a really good recommendation. And if you all want to watch it, it's on YouTube right now.
It's free. Yeah, it's
free.
Right on YouTube. So check it out.
I love that's such a good pick. I was going to mention something we talked about on our Patreon episode for What a Creep. I mentioned there's this Google Doc going around called Justice in June.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of what I've been dorking out about. It's a resource compiled by Autumn Gupta and Bryanna Wallace, and they put together this very comprehensive calendar to help people become better allies to the Black Lives Matter movement. And you can break it, and it's broken down by like time. So you want to devote 10 minutes a day, 25 minutes a day, 45 minutes a day. And there's different things on the calendar, like read this article in the 1619 Project in the New York Times. Here's a 5-minute podcast story. Here's a book you can read. Here's a documentary you can watch. And it's just broken down day by day in time increments. And I've been doing it. Like I've spent most of my time reading articles in the 1619 Project in the New York Times, which I didn't read when it came out because I'm a lazy piece of shit. And I'm watching it now, and I'm reading it now, and it's really great. It's so interesting. I also have read a couple of the articles in the Atlantic, one about like how we're breaking our racial contract, and just like who is allowed to be scared in this country,
Right.
and who isn't. And it's all really, really good, interesting stuff. And I'm trying really hard to listen and be a better ally. And I've linked, I'm going to put it in our show notes. So if you're interested, like you could swipe left or right or whatever it is, depending
on the artwork.
Yeah. And the link will be in there so that if you guys want to check it out. And when I said you guys, I don't mean you guys. I mean my friends, y'all.
Y'all.
I've been saying a lot of y'all lately. Go check it out. And then if you need a happiness break, this is my recommendation. Go to your local SPCA on Instagram and follow them. You will be...
Oh, that's a great idea.
They post the best stuff on your local SPCA on Instagram. There's all like everyone's adopting animals right now because we're home. And this is a great time to adopt animals. So it's lots of stories about people adopting animals, which makes me cry. And it's the best. There's a story on the San Francisco one today. So we're recording this on Saturday that a dog ran away and they couldn't find it. And then when they found the dog, it was taking care of like 3 little kittens.
Oh, no.
Isn't that It's the fucking cutest thing I've ever heard. And now the people got their dog back and they took the kittens.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's the best story I've ever heard.
Oh, I'm going to look for that. I got to look for that. Which one is that? San Francisco SPCA?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, it's the San Francisco SPCA.
All right, I'm going to look that up right away.
Okay. It's the cutest. I love it. So if you're looking for a little bit of happiness, follow whatever chapter you live by, or any of them. You can follow the San Francisco one. It's great. It makes me happy every time I read it. I'm so glad we talked about Roll Bounce.
Me too.
This was a really
very
good
summary.
One. Very summary. Where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
On social media, you can find me at Brooklyn Fit Chick, mostly for Twitter and Instagram. And my blog is brooklynfitchick.com.
And you can also find us at What a Creep, if you like the sound of our voices. And we talk about creeps every week. And then we end every episode with someone who's not a creep. And the episode that's out right now is Bing Crosby. Fucking creep. Talk about shitty dads. Bing Crosby. Shitty dad. Before that was Jerry Lee Lewis. Fucking creep. They're all creeps. They're all creeps. That's why the show is called What a Creep. And we have a really great Facebook group. It's private. You guys to join. It's the only Facebooking I do pretty much is on that group. So please join. I know I'm promoting What a Creep on Dorking Out, but
we have people who follow us both.
Yes.
And they'll talk about Dorking Out in the What a Creep group.
They do.
They want to talk about it there.
Yeah, they want to talk about it. So if you want to talk about Dorking Out in the group, go for it. Who are we to say no? You can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find Dorking Out at dorkingout.com and Dorking Out Show on Twitter and Instagram and sometimes Facebook. This was super fun. I'm so glad we talked about Roll Bounce.
It was great.
I hope the movie gets the Dorking Out bump.
Do the bump while you watch
Do
it.
the bump. And do the
Get your
bump.
partner, do the bump. Do the bump.
Sweetness, you're so fun.